Here we go, y'all. Welcome to the live stream. I think I'm going to start a few minutes early. I know I said that I was going to start at 12:30. I'm a few minutes early, but I think I'm going to end a few minutes early. So I'm starting a few minutes early. I hope that y'all are here. Hope that your day is going well. Hope everybody is doing all right. How y'all doing today? Let me know in the comments. If you're showing up for the live stream, let me know what's good in your hood. I do have to say that I am revamping the studio situation so that it is more conducive to smooth live streams. I got the green stream, the green screen coming in a couple days. It should be arriving. I got this device here that is the Stream Deck that is going to allow for more smooth live stream control of screens and photos and things that I might need to make points during my live stream. So I got to learn how to do this stuff. And I promise y'all, it might be rough right now, but I'm going to spend the time and learn how to control these different devices that I got that I'm implementing to make for a better presentation. Now, I have to say up front, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everything is going beautifully in your life. This is a nerdy little live stream that I'm embarking upon this day because I've been following this court case for Fani Willis in Fulton County, Georgia. I've been following this thing and trying to stay up with it. And some interesting things happened this week. Crazy stuff, y'all, happened this week in the Fani Willis case. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm just trying not to be chappy in front of y'all. Is that okay? I got a small fan blowing in my face. I hope it doesn't disturb y'all with the noise and the audio. I hope everything is okay. Let me know in the chat if things get offensive and we go off the rails. But like I say, I'm going to spend some time, y'all, over the next few days, next week or so, learning this Stream Deck, getting this green screen situation straightened out, and making a better presentation for y'all. I hope you appreciate me putting in the work to try to learn how to do this better. So we looking at the Fani Willis situation. And I need y'all to understand, hey, if nerdy content is not your thing, then you probably not going to like this live stream. But we about to nerd out because that's kind of what I do in my own time. And I hope that y'all appreciate that I have degrees in certain areas that will allow me some credibility to speak on these things. Let me acknowledge some people that are here in the chat. Michael Frazier, see you. Julie Zugg, see you. Miss Noel P, see you. I love my ad block, see you. Francita W, thank you for being here. I see you all. Saint Boogle, oh, I'm sorry, couldn't see that. Saint Boogie from Chicago. Francita W. Angel Gomez, see you. CJ, the real one thugger, see you. Thank you all for being a part of this live stream. It's kind of an impromptu. I just felt like getting on and expressing myself in this situation because I've been wrapped up in it all week. I've been enthralled with this whole situation. I need you to understand. Let's establish this outright. This case is about a Fulton County DA, a district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, who is shooting at the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. They're saying in Fulton County that we are launching a RICO case, not only against Donald Trump, but against 18, 19 other defendants in this case, saying that they conspired against the state of Georgia, specifically in Fulton County, to establish some illegal election campaign interference. This is crazy, y'all. A RICO case against a former president? Wow. When I saw this initially, I said, you're stepping so far out of bounds for a local county DA. This is crazy. But you have to understand where Fani Willis exists in this whole sphere of things that are going on. She's just a local county DA saying that Donald Trump, by calling local officials and saying, find me some votes. I know y'all got some dead people on the roster. I know y'all got some people that have moved away on the roster that shouldn't be voting in Fulton County. I know that there are thousands of people that should be disqualified in Fulton County. So this is where Fani Willis sits in this whole sphere of occurrences. So she filed a RICO case against Donald Trump and many associates. And one of those associates unleashed the beast, y'all. And this is like a Hail Mary, one of those things that you say, just throw it up and see what happens. Just throw the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. Well, this brother got him a competent lawyer. Shout out to his lawyer who did some investigating and said, well, if this is what y'all throwing at my client, this is what we're going to throw back at you. Discovered that Fani Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County, has been funneling taxpayer money to her boyfriend. So y'all, this is salacious stuff. And when you dig deep into the situation, and I'm not going to dig deep here because I want to keep it on a surface level so everybody can understand what's going on here. Fani Willis saw an opportunity where she could file a charge not only against former President Donald Trump, but against many people in his orbit. She said, well, the bigger I can make the case, the more money I can funnel from the Georgia taxpayers. And that's exactly what she did. It's a crazy situation that's going on here. And what we're witnessing in what happened this week in this courtroom is that attorneys have risen up in defense against Fani Willis and her accusations. And they said, look, if you're going to come for us, we're going to shoot back. And you know the old adage, y'all. If you shoot for the king, you best not miss. And it appears that Fani Willis has missed in such a big way that shooting at the president, the former president of the United States, has exposed her. Has exposed her own misdeeds. What we found in the week of hearings and testimony in Fulton County is that Fani Willis has been funneling money from the Georgia taxpayers to her boyfriend, who she appointed as a special prosecutor in the case against Donald Trump. Although he has no experience in this case, this was just a judge doing traffic court, things of that nature, menial tasks, low-level task, had never even prosecuted a felony in Fulton County, but she appointed him to this case against Donald Trump and shoveled him hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, not only to himself, but to his firm. And he squirmed on the stand. It was pretty lame to see this man trying to weasel his way out of a situation where he was receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars in Georgia taxpayer money to be a special prosecutor to prosecute Donald Trump in a case that it appears that he was unqualified for. Y'all, can we look at this? Will you indulge me for a few moments? I'm not going to be here long. I just need you to see what's going on here in Georgia, because it looks like the whole purpose, the whole impetus of this RICO case against Donald Trump was that Fani Willis wanted to funnel money based on government contracts to her boo. In essence, funneling it back to herself. She paid him the money from the taxpayers, and he showered her with travel all over the world with gifts so that she could enjoy the benefits of the contracts that she obtained from the Georgia taxpayers. Let's take a look at this case, y'all, because I found this to be incredible. Now, we're leapfrogging over a lot of content. I hope y'all, like I said, if you haven't been following this, then this is not going to be entertaining to you. But I followed it from the beginning. And this gentleman who is on this stand getting fried like hot catfish, this brother's getting cooked on this stand. He's a former partner in a law firm with Nathan. I'm trying to get this. Let me just say, Fani's boyfriend. Let me put it that way, because if I go into detail, I'm going to get names confused. Fani's former boyfriend was in a law partnership with this gentleman on the stand, Mr. Bradley, Attorney Bradley. He had a partnership with Fani's boyfriend. Okay, are we good there? Now, when it came, and they were so close that when Mr. Wade was getting divorced from his wife, he hired Mr. Bradley to be his attorney. They were that close, y'all. Now, at this point, they're saying that they're no longer friends. They've had a conflict of some sort. But at a certain point in that relationship, they were so close that when Mr. Wade was getting divorced from his wife, he hired Mr. Bradley to be his attorney. So in this case of Fani Willis, where you have multiple attorneys that are trying to get her disqualified from the Trump case, you have multiple attorneys making arguments against her. You have a situation where Mr. Bradley, Attorney Bradley, having represented Nathan Wade in the past, is shielded by attorney-client privilege. And y'all, listen, I'm an advocate for attorney-client privilege. I know how this situation works, and I understand it, and I am an advocate for it, because you need an attorney who can advocate for you in a court of law that, based on the facts, can mount a defense against you in a situation where he's up against district attorneys that just want to scalp. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about the law. All they want is a scalp. I've seen this firsthand. So this gentleman who, Mr. Bradley, who didn't even want to testify, y'all, he fought his subpoena so much And I know I'm going on and on. I'm going to get to the video. He fought his subpoena so much that he said, I got a doctor's appointment. I can't make it to court. I know I'm subpoenaed, but I can't be there because I got some other circumstances going on. And the judge was so ticked off. He said that if this dude don't, at a certain point, he said, if this dude don't get his buttocks on this stand, if he don't get his hind parts in my courtroom, I'm going to send deputies to go get him. He didn't want to testify. This is the former law partner of Mr. Wade. He got contracts from the DA's office that Fani Willis was in control of, shooting no-bid contracts to his homeboys so that Mr. Wade could get finance off of this. Well, he was brought into this case as a witness of the DA. But it's a crazy circumstance because the DA knew this, y'all. This is so crazy. This man who is a former friend of Mr. Nathan Wade, former friend, so much so that he hired him to represent him in his divorce case. This is my homeboy. I know he got my back. Yo, represent me. We law partners in the same firm. And it's you need to understand that they had separate firms, separate LLCs, separate PCs established in Georgia so that they could all get separate contracts from the DA's office, which Fani Willis was doling out. She issuing the money. But if we set up our PCs separately, then we can get the money from Fani separately, establishing that we are each separate corporations. But at the end of the day, we're working in the same office. We're sharing expenses, sharing profits. So we all sharing the money. Fani was issuing the money to these different black men who had separate corporations that were setting up a situation where the money could be fed back to Fani, whether it be cash, whether it be gifts, whether it be vacations. This is a racketeering situation from a woman who is filing RICO cases against the former president of the United States. Y'all, this is crazy. But it has been exposed. And this gentleman here, Mr. Bradley, who didn't want to testify, it came out in the end that Mr. Bradley, former partner in a law firm with Nathan, Fani's boo, he had been backdooring this man. Y'all, this is your friend? This is your homeboy? He was backdooring information to the attorney that is trying to get Fani kicked off the case. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into this video and see, because this woman here, if you can see what's going on, this woman here is the attorney that's questioning this man, saying that, yo, bro, you've been sending me text messages for the last few weeks. You've been giving me information for the last few weeks. And all of a sudden you've changed your tune? What is going on here? Why have you changed? What is going on with your situation? Who called you? Who got to you, bro? Who changed your testimony?
So on January 5th, 2024, we had a text exchange where we talked about that I had discovered that Nathan took Fani on a cruise and a trip and paid for it with a business card. You told me you were on a plane home from Dubai, but you would call me as soon as you got home. Do you remember that?
So what I have is a text message from you saying, "Oh my God, Nathan took Fani on a trip to Napa and paid for it with his firm."
Okay, continue reading.
And you said, "Is he that dumb?" And I said, "Wow, I'm on a plane from Dubai, land at 3. We'll call you as soon as I land."
So that is accurate. That's what you told me.
That I will call you as soon as I land, and wow?
Yes.
Yes, that is accurate.
And then you told me that you weren't surprised because they took many trips to Florida, Texas, and California.
Okay, so I don't have that, but, and I can show my phone, but I don't have that in my phone.
So the question is just, do you recall
I do not recall.
communicating that to me?
I do not recall.
All right.
Do you recall telling me that it was when she had to move her daughter, a trip to California?
I do not recall that.
And Judge, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Thank you. It's in the packet I gave you. Oh, I see it. See if that refreshes your memory.
Yes, I see this.
Okay. Does that look like, does it refresh your memory?
It does not. I mean, I see what's on the text chain, but you said this happened January 5th?
I can tell you exactly what happened. Because there's no date and time stamp on that. Let's see. It was,
Look, I'm seeing some of y'all in the chat. I appreciate everything that you're saying. I understand it. But this gentleman did not want to testify. This is the homeboy of Nathan Wade, y'all. This is his partner, his legal partner. They were so close that when Nathan Wade was getting divorced, he set this man up as his lawyer for his divorce case. I need you to understand what's going on here. He is setting up a shield. Setting up a shield of a attorney-client privilege. So he doesn't have to reveal his conversations with himself and Nathan Wade. You have to understand what's going on. They fought all day, y'all. It was hours. I watched every minute of this. He forced the court to uphold that shield of attorney-client privilege. And I support attorney-client privilege. Let me just say that at the beginning. I need you to be in a position where if you commit a crime, you need to be able to access a lawyer and tell that lawyer, look, I did this. This is how it went down, ABC. But I need you to use this evidence that I'm giving you to defend me. I need you to take this information and mount a defense against what this DA is coming at me with. I'm an advocate for attorney-client privilege, which is interesting because they have stripped Donald Trump of it in his classified documents case in Florida, where they forced his attorney to testify, stripped him of attorney-client privilege. And this indicates a two-tier system of justice. But I need you to be able to say that if you committed a crime, you need to be able to go to an attorney, find someone who can mount a defense against you and say, I did XYZ, but I didn't do ABC. And I need you to use this information to defend me against the government. This is the situation that we're dealing with here. This was the lawyer for Nathan Wade in his divorce case that's saying, yo, I'm your homeboy and I'm your attorney. We've had discussions and you've shared information with me in this case. I need to be able to defend you. At the same time, I need to be protected by the attorney-client privilege. Well, here we have this man who's getting roasted on the stand, y'all. He getting cooked. This is why I'm doing this live, because I can't believe this gentleman got on this stand and he didn't want to. He made so many excuses not to get on the stand. He didn't want to testify because not only was he a homeboy and attorney of Nathan Wade in his divorce case, he had been backdooring Nathan Wade and feeding information to the lawyer who was going after Nathan Wade and trying to get attorney DA Fani Willis get her kicked off the case. He was backdooring information, although he was the attorney for Nathan Wade. Y'all, this is such salacious information. This is soap opera stuff. In the capacity of a lawyer in Atlanta, Georgia, this is crazy stuff. And I followed this case all week long, and I saw that this gentleman right here that we see on our screen right here did not want to get on the stand because he was caught in between a rock and a hard place. He knew that he was a representative of Nathan Wade in his divorce case, and yet as a representative, he was backdooring this client and feeding information to the lawyer who was trying to get Fani kicked off the case. Y'all, let's continue. Can we continue, please?
If it was January 5th.
Judge, I just want to, on behalf of Mr. Wade, just to review the instruction again. We still don't
To
know.
which question?
To the current question, we still don't know the source of this information, whether it was privileged, or how we obtained it.
I'm wondering now if there's a timeliness issue on the objection, since he already, well, he said he doesn't recall.
Right,
So there's,
he just gave the date, he didn't
Sure.
start answering.
well, his question, or his answer was he doesn't recall, and his memory has not been refreshed. So I think it's time for the next question.
May I purchase witness question?
Okay?
Can I see what you're purchasing witness? So is this the complete text string?
That is the complete question. While they're looking at that, can I just ask you, did you delete any text messages?
I have several messages in the phone with you. I've never deleted. I mean, there are messages about family and health. And
Oh, yes, you did.
You asked me to be on some panel.
Yes.
Of course you deleted them. Of course you did.
I think it's complete, but
Well, no, my question was, did you delete any?
no, I haven't deleted anything.
Okay.
Liar,
And I also
liar,
went
liar,
through my phone
pants
earlier.
on fire.
Welcome to.
We never provided it to us.
I said you.
Physical phone, we never provided it.
It's the only phone I have, Judge.
Yeah. I understand that I don't want to keep popping up, but my concern, of course, is that these exchanges are just two lawyers gossiping about information. And I'm concerned about it coming into the record in this way. I understand impeachment is a thing, but if we could do it in a way that the substance of this gossip is not, that part is not impeaching, the contact is impeaching. So
I don't think we've gotten to that point quite yet, Ms. Cross, but you can review objection if you think we have. So right now, the sole thing that Ms. Merchant is trying to do is hand him an object to refresh his recollection again. So we'll see where we get with that.
And I don't have any way to download it because I'm not.
May I, one
Mr.
thing?
Shada.
The court is a trier of fact. you're going to be able to determine whether something that has come in, if you choose to, is hearsay, whether it's admissible, whether it's relevant, whether it's impeachment. You're in a position that if it all comes in, but you reserve the right, or all parties reserve the right to object, we can deal with it. This is not a jury. We don't have to worry about the jury hearing something that it will no longer consider. All we're doing now, with all due respect, and I understand there's a process, the state doesn't want something to be heard.
I object to that.
They've repeatedly attempted to stop questioning. Your Honor can hear it all and then decide what is and is not relevant or admissible. We don't have to go through every single one of these. The only time you have to go through this is if it is in fact a communication, and it's a privileged communication, and an argument has to be made at that point as to whether or not it should be elicited or it is subject to being stated in open court.
All right, let me stop this because I am not going to be on here all night long with this live stream. I just wanted to point out a couple of important things to y'all. Let me see if I can find this that I'm getting at, because I want you to understand this gentleman here, y'all, he was brought on the stand as a witness for Fulton County. He came on the stand. He reluctantly came on the stand. He didn't want to testify at all. They had to drag him into court. But he came onto the stand as a former attorney for Fani's boyfriend, Fani's boo, saying, I represented you in your divorce proceedings. Man, this was terrible. This is the train wreck that I wanted to present to y'all in the first place. Let's disregard everything that's come before this. This man, he was the attorney for Mr. Nathan, the cat that was clapping Fani Willis's cheeks and getting more money per hour, more money on the case that he was unqualified for, more money than any other attorney on record for Fulton County. Okay, Mr. Nathan, you got this contract as a specialized attorney for a case that you are not qualified for based on your resume, having never even prosecuted a felony case. Here we are funneling almost $1 million to you for this case. And here you are shooting his money right back to Fani Willis. And interestingly, she is supposedly repaying you in cash money that is untraceable as far as we can see in this case. You giving her money and she giving it back to you in a circumstance that we cannot trace because she had cash on hand. We can't figure out how that cash came to be. No deposits, no withdrawals, nothing in her banking situation where we can see that the cash came to be. Wow. Crazy situation. The only person you got to substantiate your cash is your father, who admittedly on the stand says that he watched your testimony and saw everything that you testified to, and he coordinated his testimony with yours. Well, we can disqualify everything he said because he was watching what you said and based his testimony upon yours. Okay, disqualify everything this man said. And we got a district attorney in Fulton County saying that I'm reimbursing this man with cash money. Can't tell you where the cash came from. Can't tell you why I used cash. But I did it in such a way that there is no documentation that would substantiate the cash that I gave to him to reimburse him for the credit card statements that he presented. Not only he, but his attorney presented. This man that Bradley, his former law partner, who is presenting a legal admission under oath, saying that he used even my credit card to book travel for himself, Mr. Wade, and Fani Willis. Y'all, this is so corrupt. This is crazy. This is so corrupt that this judge should disqualify Fani and her entire office for participating in this prosecution against the former president of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump. But here's the kicker. We can take all of this information under consideration. But here's the kicker. Let me see if I can find a video. Y'all, I'm trying to get to the point. Let me get to the point so I can let y'all go. I'm not trying to hold y'all forever, but I want y'all to understand. This man, my God, this man, Mr. Bradley, was so caught up in this situation that they brought him in to testify. They pulled him in to testify. He didn't want to testify. He said, I got a doctor's appointment. I can't make it. I don't want to testify for nobody. County of Fulton brought him in. But they brought him in only because they discovered that he had been backdooring information to Donald Trump's attorneys. Crazy. They brought him in to kill him. That's exactly what they did. Give me a couple moments, y'all. I appreciate your patience. But they brought this dude in just to roast him. They found out that this attorney, former partner of Mr. Wade, former partner, had been backdooring information to Donald Trump's attorneys. He had been backdooring information that would sabotage Mr. Wade and Miss Willis. They found out somehow that he was backdooring text messages talking to those attorneys. And they brought him in to destroy him. And y'all, it was nothing less than destruction. They brought this man in and killed him on the stand. Let me see if I can find it, y'all. I appreciate you for staying on, being a part of this live stream. This is Nerd World. If you're on here at this point and you've been on from the beginning, you are a true legal nerd because you understand what's going on here and you are interested in what's going on here. Like myself. Let's see if we can make this thing make sense. Let's try this. Let's go, y'all. Let's try this one. See if this one works out.
Mr. Bradley, have you still got the exhibits 23, 24, 25 there in front of you?
I do.
And 23.
Okay, now let me stop it before we get too deep into this situation. This woman right here is the assistant district attorney in Fulton County. She is the assistant to Fani Willis. And she has brought this man on the stand. He's sitting on that chair on the stand thinking he is a defense witness. He is a I'm sorry. Let me stop it. He's thinking on that stand that he is a witness brought to the stand by the Fulton County DA. This woman right here. He's thinking that she brought him on so he is friendly to her situation, although he's been backdooring information to the lawyers from the other side. He didn't understand that this woman knew that he was backdooring information and brought him on just to cook him. And my God, y'all. Whew. My God, y'all, that's what she brought him on for. And she did just that. She roasted. I apologize. She brought this man on the stand to roast him. And that's exactly what she did. She roasted him. She called him a liar. She called him a liar. Told the judge that everything he said prior to was a lie. And she brought him on and destroyed him. Brought up some sexual assault allegations. I'm guaranteeing y'all, when he got on that stand, he never imagined that kind of stuff would be exposed on the stand, but he got destroyed. He got destroyed. He thought he was going to be given a pass from the side of Fulton County DA, as he knew in his mind that he was backdooring information to the other side. He was put in a position of such a bad position where he was destroyed by each side. This one side said, "You are our witness. You've been texting me this information, right? You sent me this and you sent me that, right? You sent me this information. You were on our team, right? You were feeding us information." And then he gets on the stand and the other side says, "Wait a minute. We knew you were sending that information to the other side. We knew you were a witness for the other side. So we gonna cook you with the information that we have. Why did you get dismissed from Nathan Wade's a law firm again? Tell us in detail why you were kicked out of Nathan Wade's law firm." Bro, this dude is getting roasted. Oh my God, it was such a bad day on the stand for this guy. He's sitting up sweating, getting shot at from both sides. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna shut up. Let me continue.
That's one of the contracts for your personal LLC, your PC, your personal legal entity, right? For the district attorney's office? Yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And I understood your testimony to be that any income that came into the partnership, when I say partnership, let me be more specific. You had an individual legal entity. Mr. Campbell had an individual legal entity. Mr. Wade had an individual legal entity. But y'all had a partnership agreement, right?
Yes, but we didn't have that the entire time.
There was a period of time that we've been talking, or that we had talked about in 2022 prior to leaving the firm, that there was an actual entity for the three of you, correct?
That is correct.
And that was roughly during the time period where y'all bought a building together.
Yes, correct.
Right. And it made things simpler, or for whatever reason, you decided at that time that a joint entity made sense to own that building, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, but those contracts there, they're not with the joint entity, correct?
No, they're not.
Those are all with you individually, is that right? Can you take a look at 23, 24, and 25?
Yes.
They're all with you individually?
Yes.
Okay. 23, what's the hourly rate that you were being compensated? That was the first appearance?
23 is the, I don't think, no, 23 is not the first appearance. 23 is the taint, it says.
What's the hourly rate on that contract?
150 an hour.
150 an hour? All right. So the 150 an hour, the way I understand you all shared profits was you get 50, Mr. Campbell get 50, Mr. Wade get 50, and then y'all pay expenses jointly as well, correct?
Correct.
All right. What about exhibit number 24?
At Rush Order Tees, we love to help you get your shirt together with high-quality custom tees. Just so you know, that's not...
It seems to be the.
Sorry, y'all.
Same amount?
I don't know if it's the same amount.
I'm interested in the amount. Can you tell me
Oh,
the hourly
no,
rate?
the amount was 65 an hour.
$65 an hour?
Mhm.
All right. That's not a particularly high rate for an attorney in the Atlanta metro area, correct?
No, it's not.
All right. Was that a government rate that you were willing to accept at that time?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. And so the $60 you're getting for that contract, again, that's split three ways, you, Mr. Wade, and Mr. Campbell, correct?
That is correct.
So when you were being
Minus
asked...
expenses and stuff like that. but yes.
Exactly, exactly. That was the income, and then expenses come from that, and then profits, whatever's at the end, correct?
Correct.
All right. So when you were being asked questions about Mr. Wade, I think the phrasing, and I object to, but I think you might recall the question, Mr. Wade brought you this contract, or Mr. Wade got you this contract. Do you remember those questions?
Yes, I do.
All right. So we're talking then about a split among the three of you of about $20 a piece, right, for that particular contract?
For this one, yes.
All right. What about 24? You got 24 that, I'm sorry, 25. You got that in front of you?
I do.
What's the hourly rate on that one?
It's 150.
150 on that one too? All right. And the same sharing went through the business, the way you handled that contract as well, right?
That's correct.
All right. Who is Austin Dabney?
He was a probation officer that passed the bar, and we hired him and another individual. I can't. The other person.
Uh-oh.
And did Mr. Dabney and the other legal associate that you all had working for you at that time, did they do some work on these first appearance contracts?
Yes.
And that was a pretty good position for a younger lawyer to be sent to get some courtroom experience, correct?
That is correct.
All right. 2020, you're aware that Mr. Wade had a serious illness during that time?
I'm aware.
And you and Mr. Wade, I think you described your relationship in a lot of details earlier about specific...
Look at him spinning that pen in his hands, y'all. He's getting nervous.
Time you left in,
He came in
December 2022,
as a
correct?
representative for
Your
the
business partners up
district
until that-
attorney's office.
Yes, I said yes.
And he
That is
feels
correct.
things going left. Look at him
And while you didn't
twirling that
socialize
spin
together frequently, you considered
of that
yourself a
pen
friend
in
with
his
at that time.
hand.
Yes, we were friends at the time, yes.
All right. You are no longer business partners.
That is correct.
You are no longer friends.
I mean, if he's saying that we're not friends, then
I
yeah.
want to know what you think, Mr. Bradley. Do you consider yourself a friend of Mr. Wade?
I'll consider.
It goes to potential bias.
Thank
Ms. Cross.
Would I consider myself a friend of Mr. Wade?
Mm-hmm.
I would.
You were asked questions, Mr. Bradley, about the circumstances under which you left the firm. Do you recall those questions?
I do.
All right. And you left the firm. The firm remained the same as far as other employees, Mr. Wade, Mr. Campbell, as the named partners of the firm. You were the one who left, correct?
That is correct.
And you termed it as a disagreement. You recall answering questions as though you left due to a disagreement. Yes?
Yes,
And that disagreement was that there was an allegation of sexual assault by an employee made against you, correct?
that is incorrect.
There was not an allegation that you sexually assaulted one of the employees in the firm.
That is incorrect, but yes, yes,
Yes, there was an allegation that you sexually assaulted a member of the firm, correct?
yes, there was an allegation, yes,
And as a result of that allegation, you left,
I did.
and you were no longer business partners with Mr. Wade.
That is correct.
The firm remained intact, and in fact, the employee involved remained with the firm, correct?
I'm not certain of that. They did leave the building, of course, and I don't know, some employees did leave.
Mr. Bradley, you in fact paid that employee $20,000, correct?
That is that is incorrect as far as what was, no.
On or about the time that you left the firm, and on or about the time that the allegation of sexual assault was made against you, did you pay the person who had made the allegation of sexual assault any amount of money?
There was money left in an escrow that belonged to me. I don't know what that amount was.
And did that money that was left in the escrow that belonged to you, was that paid to the employee who said that you sexually assaulted her?
I never signed any, I never gave any money. I left the money in the escrow account. What happened to that money? I can't, I don't know what happened to it.
For what purpose did you leave the money in the escrow account when you left the firm?
I left the money in the escrow account.
For what purpose, sir?
There was no purpose.
You just left the money in the escrow account?
Yes,
If there's no connection to the money you left in the escrow account and the allegations of sexual assault that an employee of your firm made against you, why was it that you brought to my attention, why did you respond the way you did about money in an escrow account when my question was, did you pay this employee any money?
I didn't hand any money. It was money from my escrow account, to my knowledge.
To your knowledge, where did the money in the escrow account go?
To the employee.
To that employee.
Katie Porter plays us.
Sorry, y'all. It looks like my mic was muted. I thank y'all for letting me know in the comments, and I understand. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna work over the next few weeks to get this flow better. But my God, do you understand what you just saw in this video? This man is a former partner of Nathan Wade, saying that I was his friend, I was his homeboy, I was his partner. Oh my God. Such that I represented him in his divorce case, and they brought me into this case to where I would represent Mr. Nathan Wade and saying that I'm his attorney of record in his divorce case. So you can't ask me nothing. Everything that you want to know, everything that you're questioning me about, this is questioning me about Attorney-client privilege. I can't give you none of this. I am shielded. Y'all can't access none of this. And I watched this case, y'all. This is the crazy thing about it. I watched this case for half the day, and the judge was understanding. The judge gave them deference. The judge gave them the benefit of the doubt for attorney-client privilege. And then this chick, oh my Lord. This chick, this woman who was supposed to represent Fani Willis, who was supposed to represent Nathan Wade, she got up on behalf of the county of Fulton in Georgia. This is a Fulton County representative. She stood up and tried to stab this man in the back. You called him to the stand. He was your witness. Hold on. Let me cough, y'all. Can I cough, please? Thank you. He was your witness. You called him to the stand to represent Fulton County, Georgia. And then you were going to roast him. You were going to destroy him. You were going to kill this man based on information that you knew because he was your witness. And you understood that he was backdooring information to the opposition. So you decided that you were going to kill this man. And this DA attorney, y'all, and this is something I know about, I am educated on, I am informed upon intimately. This woman took her own witness, and because she was so overzealous in trying to destroy him, he spent all day on the stand putting up a shield for attorney-client privilege. And this stupid attorney, this uneducated attorney, this inexperienced attorney, in trying to kill this man, pierced the veil of attorney-client privilege, the very thing that had been shielding him all day long. He was protected. The judge gave him so much deference that he didn't have to testify to certain things. He used attorney-client privilege to shield himself. And when these Fulton County DAs turned that knife on him and stuck him in the back and twisted it, they went 1, 2, 3 steps too far into trying to kill this man, such that they opened up the attorney-client privilege that he had been shielded by all day. And the judge, you could see in the video that the judge grabbed his head and said, we're into a whole new situation now. Because that attorney-client privilege that the judge gave him deference to, that had protected him from testifying against Nathan Wade and Fani Willis. Well, this attorney here, who's supposedly on the side of Fani Willis, she went a step too far and opened up Pandora's box. Oh. Broke that attorney-client privilege and opened up everything for this man to be opened up to the defense attorneys that wanted to get to that all day. They had been working on it and couldn't get to it. The judge was like, nope, nope, nope. I'm not going to let you go there. We're not going there. It's attorney-client privilege. Nope, you can't have access to that information. This dope. This information. This attorney who was privileged to information on the Fani Willis side of things went a step too far. And now the judge is like, well, it's wide open now. You overstepped. And here we go. Y'all, that's the purpose of this entire live. And I appreciate each and every one of you for staying so long and being a part of this. I didn't even think it would go this long, but here we are. This attorney that called himself protecting Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, trying to protect their whole situation. Well, the attorney that stepped over to kill him and talking about his sexual assault. Oh my God. I didn't even play it for y'all. Y'all, you can look at the video and pull it up for yourselves. But they're accusing this man of sexual assault against a client in the firm and also an employee of the firm, saying that he was alleged twice of sexual assault. This man was supposed to be their witness, and when they found out that he was feeding information to Donald Trump's attorneys, well, they decided to torch him on the stand, and in torching him on the stand, they overstepped. And the very thing that he had been using to shield himself from the court, they destroyed it. They took his defense away. His attorney-client privilege has now been breached. Oh my God. This is what brought this live about. I hope that I was able to speak of it in such a way that you understood what I was feeling, because from a legal perspective, this is incredible to me, y'all. This man stood up all day long against all kinds of assaults from different attorneys. And he just stood there strong, attorney-client privilege. And then his own attorneys that brought him to the stand that were representing Fani went too far in trying to destroy him and killed the attorney-client privilege. They destroyed the very shield that he had been holding up all day. Now the judge is like, well, we good now. We can go that far now. We can go into that area now. Incredible. I tried to keep it on a surface level. I wasn't trying to go too far, too deep to get into nerd world. But if you've been following this podcast and this live stream for this long, I assume that you understand what I'm talking about. And I appreciate each and every one of you who has hung around to just experience my rant. Because that's all it's been. It's just a legal rant. And I told y'all before that I'm educated in this area, so you understand that I know to a certain degree what I'm talking about here. Which is why I follow these kinds of stories in the news. And man, I understand representing your client to the fullest. But here we go. With an attorney who got on the stand himself, a licensed attorney who got on the stand and got roasted by other attorneys because they meant to do him in. Yeah, you a partner with Mr. Nathan? You a partner, ex-partner? Well, we going to expose your dirt in front of the world and kill you because you've been feeding information to the other side to try to kill Mr. Nathan. To try to kill Mrs. Fani. You've been working against us. So we, as the district attorney's office, are going to get you on the stand and kill you by exposing that you have been accused of sexual assault. Nobody knew that. All they knew was that this dude left the firm. The firm was dissolved, according to everybody involved in the case, everybody who's been on the stand. They cooked this dude. They put him on the stand that he didn't want to get on. He was like, yo, I got a doctor's appointment. I can't be there. I can't testify. I got other stuff going on. The judge was like, either get him here or we're going to send deputies to find him and get him here. They got him on the stand and they roasted this man. They cooked it. Both sides. Like, bro, you couldn't win. Because you were brought by one side, but you were feeding information to the other side to say, oh, well, I think I'm still a fan. I'm sorry. I'm still a friend. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm still a friend of Nathan. I'm still a friend. We still cool. I left the firm on good terms. I left because I wanted to go out on my own terms. Woo, woo, woo. No. They brought out the real truth, bro. You left the firm because Mr. Nathan threw you out because somebody in the firm accused you of sexual assault. Somebody who was a client of the firm accused you of sexual assault. They roasted you. They cooked you on the stand. The people whose side you were supposedly on, they cooked you, bro. Now, what I wonder is if he's going to go behind the camera with that judge and say, you know what? They did me so dirty on that stand. Let me just go on and tell you what's going on. Which brings us to our purpose for this live stream today, y'all. I'm about to end it. I'm about to cut it off. But the truth of the matter is this man knows that Nathan and Fani lied to the court. They said that their relationship began in 2021, 2022. This man, who was the divorce lawyer for Nathan, understands that the situation began earlier than that. Likely around 2019, which is the testimony of the friend of Fani Willis. She got on the stand under oath and said via Zoom that Fani was in a relationship with Nathan before 2021. She said they were in a relationship in 2019. This man, who was an attorney for Nathan, can corroborate that story as well. He didn't want to. He wasn't going to. But he was brought into the situation for that sole purpose. And when he communicated with the other side, well, attorneys from the office of Fani Willis in Fulton County destroyed this man on the stand. All we can hope is that the truth comes out. All we can hope is that he gets behind the camera and says, this is what the truth is. And based on the evidence that I've seen, I believe the truth is Nathan and Fani lied on the stand. They committed perjury. As such, they should be dismissed from the case. Not only them, but the entire Fulton County office should be dismissed from the case prosecuting RICO charges against Donald Trump and his associates. Now, what does that mean? That means that the case would be moved to an office from another county. Why is that significant? I'll tell you why. Because I've seen Killer Mike from Los Angeles. I've heard him in a previous rant that he was making on the internet somewhere. He said that Atlanta is one thing. Fulton County is one thing, but you get 15 minutes outside of Atlanta, and that's Georgia. So here we go. If you take this case away from Fulton County and you put it in Cobb County or another county in Georgia, you got a situation where they look at things a little differently. than they do in Fulton County. Wherein lies the rub? If you remove this case from Fulton County, it's likely that these charges will be dropped against not only Donald Trump, but all of his associates. These RICO charges, these crazy charges brought by Fani in Fulton County so that she could funnel taxpayer money to her boo, who put it back in her pocket in the way of gifts and travel around the world. Yeah, y'all, this is what we're talking about on this live. I hope that you enjoyed my rant, because that's pretty much all it was. But I've been following this case, and I'm still following this case, and I'm going to follow it to the end. Fani should be removed. She's funneled nearly $1 million or maybe over $1 million to her boo that came circled back into her own pockets in the way of gifts and travel. She should be removed from the case. That's how I feel about it. And I appreciate each and every one of you for indulging me in this little rant. Your government is corrupt on a local level, on a regional level, on a national level. Your government is corrupt. And we're going to see more stories like this in an election year. We can only expect things to get more and more crazy. Y'all better stay prayed up. Y'all better cling to the word. Because Fani is just one little example of what's going on across this country. Fani got caught because she was shooting above her pay grade. And you know how they say, if you shoot for the king, you best not miss. Fani has missed in a major way. So I need you to understand, in circumstances like this, not to support people who take these types of positions. Stand on faith. Stand on the Constitution, y'all. Stand on the word. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all being a part of this live stream, and I appreciate the fact that y'all would pay attention to anything that I have to say on this channel. I love y'all. I appreciate your support. And I promise you this, I'm going to work on this stream deck, and we're going to get some of this stuff smoothed out so we can get these live streams cracking and busting. I appreciate y'all. Faith, Steve Stevens, Swivel Lock. We got some people in the house, y'all. Felipe Alcel. Whoa. Where'd he go? Felipe El Segundo. Flummoxed Fossil. Tina S. We got some people in here in the building, y'all. I appreciate every one of y'all hanging out. CJ, the real one thugger. Faith, Tina S. Mike Homed. William Jennings. Willie Jennings. Willie Jennings. Mad B. Sally Brill. Paulus Armstrong. Steve Stevens. We're just trying to get through this, y'all. Paulus Armstrong, did I say that already? Dr. Easy Day. Robert Roberson. Sally Brill. All right. I scrolled through a few. Joanne Juarez, Texas. Greater Faith Kingdom Ambassadors Ministries. Nanette Alexander. I think we got everybody in here. I'm just trying to acknowledge some people who have been hanging on. We've been on here for a while, and I'm going to let y'all go. I thank y'all for being a part of this live stream and listening to my rant. I hope I made it clear enough for you to understand what I thought was going on in this case. It is ongoing and going to continue into next week. We're going to see what the judge says about, did you pierce the attorney-client privilege? Can we go further into that? This thing that I've been shielding y'all with all day long, you finally made a mistake and opened up the door to a attorney-client privilege? It's going to be fascinating. Y'all stay tuned to the channel. Like and subscribe so we can get more of this going on. I appreciate each and every one of you, y'all. Love you. Stay prayed up. Keep God first.